Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Unless you have an emergency, right now Southeast Termite and Pest Control is making all of their services exterior only. Again, if you've got an emergency, that's different. But for the most part, they are doing external work only, so socially distanced from you and your family. Little beasties aren't slowed by COVID-19, unfortunately, so you still need to protect your home and yard from termites, carpenter bees, and mosquitoes. You can do so by calling the folks I call, Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, every year the NFL gives players the Wonderlic test, and every year the numbers leak. This is a test of 50 questions. You can get a score of 50 if you get them all right. 50 questions under a 12, 10, I don't know what the time limit is. 12, is it 12, David?
12 minutes, yeah.
12 minutes, exactly. All right, 12 minutes to do 50 questions. It's not like an SAT question. It's not like a IQ question. It's kind of a backwards thing. They do some math, they do some grammar. It's funky. And I don't think it relates to whether a guy's going to be a good quarterback or not. And let's take a look at some of the list, some of the numbers before we get to the UT numbers. All right, random. I just picked some of these because they stood out. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard and has played for years and years and years. Greg McElroy played at Alabama, couldn't stick. They both had a 48 out of 50. They got a 48. That's the best ever for a quarterback. Eli Manning was a 39. We're going to show you Peyton's in a second. So remember Eli Manning was a 39. Matthew Stafford, Colin Kaepernick, 38. But look at this next. Tony Romo, Andrew Luck, and Akili Smith. Those are three different types of careers, three different types of quarterbacks had the same score. Look, I loved Drew Bledsoe, but he could process information very slow, patting that football, whereas Brady was the fastest guy I've ever seen. Yeah, Brady scored fewer than Bledsoe on this test. Tua Tagovailoa came out this week. He got a 13, and had a lot of people thinking, oh, he won't be a good quarterback. Turns out he actually got a 19. But 13, yeah, that's kind of what Lamar Jackson did last year before he dominated and won the MVP. Jeff George, 10, had a long career. Vince Young, 6. That was the lowest quarterback I found. But let's put up Tennessee's list. Here I found the numbers for each of these guys. Now, this is in order from when they played. Now, I couldn't find everybody, like a Matt Sims. I couldn't track him down, or Jonathan Crompton. But anyway, Schuler, Manning, Martin Clausen, Ainge, Bray, Peterman, Dobbs. And I put Peterman in there just because. Guys, I'm going to have you, who do you think, and we'll see if this has any impact on college success, who do you think had the highest Wonderlic score on that list? Who do you think had the lowest Wonderlic score on that list?
Josh Dobbs highest.
I'm going to go either Peyton or Josh Dobbs highest.
Okay. And neither one of you want to go lowest, but it's not this an IQ test, so it doesn't mean it's just processing information quickly. If you don't want to say it, that's okay.
Part of it is I've heard in the past, and I can't remember for sure, but I think it's T.
Okay. All right. I would have gone Schuler. Would have been my guess.
Okay. At a protest, I'm not going to predict which one would have the lowest
That's
score.
good. That's fine. Good for you. Let me do it, and then you say no. All right. Let's go ahead and show you the actual numbers. Nathan Peterman, 33. The higher than Eli Manning was a 39. Peyton was a 28. Now you tell me which quarterback you'd rather have, though. So Dobbs was a 29, higher than Manning. Bray, 24. Ainge, 22. Clausen, 20. Schuler, 16. And your BCS champion, T. Martin, was an 11. In other words, I just think these tests are silly. Everybody's looking for a way to we just need another gizmo to try and grade players and help us make a pick. I don't think it means anything.
Yeah, T was a really good player. He's a terrific leader, and he's also a successful coach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the football world, I think he's done quite well for himself.
Yeah, I did a sample Wonderlic yesterday, and there's some questions where, okay, it's clear, but there are a couple where the way they worded it is kind of tricky. And so, okay, well, that stumped me. I'm like, I don't get this.
The two charts you showed, especially not the Tennessee one, but the NFL one, I would, at this point, say, you know what, this is a waste of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's just a difference between processing a grammar question under a clock and reading a defense, or some other position.
Yeah, I wonder what Terry Bradshaw did on his Wonderlic if they did it back then. He had a pretty darn good career.
He did.
Some teams might say, why are you so good at this? You need to spend more time understanding defenses instead of preparing for this.
Well, and we were talking between segments. David points out as well that a lot of these guys don't take it that seriously as well. I just think it's a silly test.
I do too.
Personally. And people always look at it and go, oh, he got a low score, so he's not going to be good. Well, obviously that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely false. So next time when everybody's talking about the Wonderlic test, you can go, oh, that's a nonsense kind of a deal. Because the guy who scored the lowest for UT happened to be the guy that won the national championship and has had, as you mentioned, a long career at different levels. All right. We don't know his Wonderlic score yet, but there's a possibility Tennessee could add another quarterback to an already full quarterback room. Will they? Should they? Could they? Come on back on the Sports Source. We'll talk JT Daniels.